Hey, we're going to be looking at concentrated solutions today, starting on page 28. And, oops, sorry about that. You should have this paper in front of you, and notice right here in the corner it says before you start reading. You're going to glue the diagram that you were given onto the first available page in your science notebook. And then you're going to listen to this video for further instructions. So make sure that's glued in. Stop the video if you haven't done that yet. It's the paper that looks like this. All right, so I want to just look at that with you for a minute. We're focusing on concentration. We've been talking about that in class quite a bit. So in this box right here, I want you to write what it is. So think about what we've talked about. You can look up on the whiteboard. If you're really not sure, you can look in the glossary of your science book, and I want you to define what concentration is in that box. Stop the video while you do that. Now, over here on this section, what is it like? Think about the things that we've learned. How would you describe it? For example, when we look at those 4 vials, the one that's really concentrated, what does a solution look like when it's really concentrated, if it's colored? Maybe here you could think about what we did with the salt solutions on the balance scales. What is a concentrated solution like when you put it on a balance scale? Another thing that you could think about maybe writing here would be, how could you make a solution less concentrated? Stop the video while you fill in those 3 boxes. All right, now, what are some examples of solutions that are concentrated? For example, I might write tea in this box, and you could do that too. So think of some other real-life examples, and we've talked about this in class, so this is nothing new. Think about some real-life examples of things that can be concentrated or diluted. Kool-Aid could be another one. So there you go. I've given you 2 gifts, tea and Kool-Aid. Think of 2 on your own. All right, now we're going to be looking at page 28. And I'm going to be giving you some questions to answer in this part of your paper. So basically, if you stop by the freezer section at the market, you can pick up a can of orange juice. But be careful. If you defrost it and try to drink the orange juice straight from the can, you'll be in for a shock. The orange juice is thick and strong. That's because the can contains orange juice concentrate. Most of the water has been removed. The juice is too concentrated to drink. If you've ever opened one of those, you'll see it's really, really thick. So, orange juice straight out of the orange, okay, when you're squeezing it straight out of the orange, it's a solution. Water is the solvent. At the orange juice factory, the orange juice is heated. Water particles leave the solution, but orange juice particles don't. The orange juice particles are still evenly distributed in the water, but there is less water. So as a result, the orange juice particles get closer together because there are fewer water particles between them. So here's how that works. You've got a diagram here. So number 1, here's a pot of orange juice, 100 water particles, those are blue, and 25 orange juice particles, those are orange. If you don't believe me, you can count them up. So this represents orange juice in a pot. So as it's heated, the pot of juice is heated and the water particles begin to evaporate. So you can see those escaping into the air. There's still the 25 orange juice particles though. So my first question to you that I want you to answer right over here is, what do these diagrams represent? Stop the video and tell me what these diagrams are showing. Number 2, what do the different colored circles represent? So what do the blue circles represent? What do the orange circles represent? Stop the video and answer that question right here. What do the different colored circles represent? Number 3, what's changing from this diagram to this diagram? So what changes from diagram to diagram? You're going to answer that right over here. What's changing? Stop the video. All right, now let's look at page 29. Here's step 3. When 75 water particles have evaporated, the orange juice looks like this. So those water particles are gone. Less water particles, we still have the 25 orange juice ones. So the pot of orange juice, after most of the water has evaporated, would look like this. Number 4, look at the pots before. Okay, this was before evaporation. This is after evaporation. So what is the same? What is different? Okay, so over here, I want you to write the similarities in this box. What is the same about these two pots, A and B? And then what is different? Tell me some of the things about pot A and pot B that are different from each other. Stop the video and take care of that. All right, so go ahead and read this section and look at what it's showing you about pot A and pot B. So stop the video and do that now, please. All right, so now we're going to move on to page 30, and we're going to be looking at, whoops, let me go back. We're going to be looking at this section of your paper. All right, so page 30. You can think of concentration as the ratio of water particles to orange juice particles. There are 4 times as many water particles as orange juice particles in pot A. So the ratio of water to orange juice would be 4 to 1. 4 water particles to every 1 orange juice. So in math it would look like this: 4:1. 4 to 1 ratio. So in pot B, there are 25 water particles and 25 orange juice particles. 25 to 25, or we would say that ratio of water to orange juice is 1 to 1. For every 1 water, there's 1 orange juice. Okay, 1 water particle for each orange juice particle. So that solution is more concentrated than the one in pot A, because pot A has 4 water particles for each orange juice particle. More water means it's more diluted. So let's continue with comparing concentrations a minute. If you have 2 different solutions made with the same material, such as salt and water, you can often use a balance to figure out which one is more concentrated, and we did that in class. Okay, so here's an electronic balance. So if you measure equal volumes of solution X and solution Y and weigh them, the sample with the greater mass is more concentrated. That's simple. So which is more concentrated, solution X or solution Y? Circle X or Y on your paper. And then I want you to explain how you know. It might be helpful to read this section if you're not sure what to say. Would you take care of that now, please? All right, so we're going to go on to page 31. Here's your little hint. If If you weren't sure how to answer that, check out the scales. Did you choose X or Y? And when you explain, make sure you use complete sentences. If you did not use complete sentences, go back and fix that part. All right, so we're going to finish this off now. Look at these 4 solutions. Okay, so each sample is exactly 150 milliliters. So we're comparing 150 milliliters of 4 different solutions. So look at step 1. They're weighing solution A and solution C. So obviously, one of those is more concentrated than the other. Look at step 2. They did D and B. One of those is more concentrated than the other. Now look at step 3. They took A and D. One of those is more concentrated than the other. Then, in step 4, they took B and C and compared those two. And one of those is more concentrated than the other. So by checking out those 3 steps, you should now be able to tell of the 4 which one is the absolute most concentrated. You're going to write that here, A, B, C, D, to which one is the most dilute over here. So you're going to have your letters A, B, C, D on these 4 blanks. And then I want you to explain, how do you know? How did you know which letter to put where? Make sure you're using complete sentences. So now, this paper should be complete, and the chart in your science notebook should be complete. Put this paper in the turn-in tray, and then now you have some options. Read quietly, Prodigy. Just make sure whatever you're doing, that you're doing it quietly, please. All right, see you soon.